Hello there, my name is Clive Lambert, Futures Techs in the UK, and I'm going to look at some charts for you today. And I thought I'd start on this side of the pond and look at equity markets, and one of the major indices over here is the DAX. So what does the DAX chart tell us? I was on a few weeks back talking about a rising uptrend line that was defining the trend for us, and everything was fine as long as we were above there. We then did see a failure at 13,300, and there was a couple of candlesticks up there to suggest to us that things might be falling over. A few days later, we broke that trend line, and at the moment, just in the last in the last day or so, we're seeing further weakness, and it looks like a retracement is underway. Got targets at 12,400, 12,200. And then if it gets bigger and deeper, got another retracement target right down at 11,265. And so, weakness in European equity markets so far today. And so what does that look like if we're looking at the US markets? They've been a little bit more resilient, and we saw a rally on the Fed yesterday, but we've given most of that back in the overnight trade today. We're just off the recent highs. 32.97 for the S&P futures was the high last week, and we're trading around 32.16 at the moment. If we, as I say, looking a lot more resilient, the US markets. 31.90 is an important support area. Then 31, we break there, we could go back to 31.05, maybe even back to 30.37, which is an important mark to the downside. And that's one, and also around there is where the 200-day moving average sits. So equities, maybe some signs of weakness, but US side of things is looking a little more resilient than on my side of the pond, as it were. Silver's been, the metals markets in general have been extremely interesting over the last week or so. We've seen some big moves going on, saw a significant rally in silver over the last few weeks. And actually today I thought I'd look at the monthly chart because there's something on here that really needs paying attention to. And if you look at the monthly chart for silver, I've got that ringed area off to the left-hand side of the chart, which is an old support level going back to 2011 through 2012, right up to 2013. We kept holding 26, basically $26, and that was after we'd come off the 49.82 high in April 2011. Now, 26.22 on the silver futures continuation chart, which is what I'm looking at here, is also the 38.2% retracements, a Fibonacci level. It's where we've got back 38.2% of the whole move from that April high down to the lows in March this year. And we also, so it all lines up, and that's where we failed a couple of days back. And it's a bit of a wow moment on that chart, and you've got to think that maybe we're going to have, at the very least, a pause in that one on that basis. And lastly, I thought I'd look at platinum, which again was something I looked at. I said on here a few weeks back, the last time I was on here, that we've seen we were seeing some strength in coming through in some of the metals markets at that time, but platinum was yet to get started. Really, it was hanging around down at 850, and it was looking, but we had a continuation pattern on that chart that had completed and suggested that we could see some significant gains coming forward. Took a little bit of a while to get going, but it certainly got going in the last few weeks, and it took us all the way up to 1,002 on Tuesday, I think it was. Let me just double check that on my charts. Yeah, on Tuesday, 1,002, psychological resistance. We've also got a Fibonacci level above there at 1,014, and we've got some general resistance hanging around that area, anyway, 1,024 to 1,045. So maybe no surprise to see a pullback and some sellers reappearing in that one. We've been back to 920 in overnight trade. We're looking to, and with the froth's coming off a little bit on that one, but I think that might present us with a buying opportunity at some point, as long as we're holding levels like the sort of, and I've got a nice area around 875 to 890 where I think that should hold, and we'll all be good. Thanks very much. Have a good day.